Hi everyone. I am Pseudo Zach. I'm the founder and CTO. I don't have a CEO. So I'm the CTO of NFT Swap. And NFT Swap is a native bridge between Bitcoin and Stacks. So basically we allow any Stacks apps to accept Bitcoin, native Bitcoin and Lightning Bitcoin for their apps. And in this case, I'm going to talk to you about a project we did with Jamil and STX NFT, where we were able to mint an NFT with Lightning. So let's go. So first of all, I didn't pick the name of the talk, but it's like a cooking thing, so I'll go with that, right? So ingredients, we need an NFT to mint, just like Jamil and Mark talked about. And then we need, so what I did was I built a regenerative collection, just like they were talking about. I just found some art, well, I made some artwork with code because I can't design, I can't draw. So I made that, and then I put that into a collection. So cube, just colorful cubes. That's what I did. And then I put that standard SIP9 NFT contract. So I put that all in, which was what they were talking about with the NFT trades. So that's pretty straightforward. And then, but now for regular people, they need an STX to mint these things, right? And not a lot of people, well, people here know about STX and that asset, but not a lot of people know about that. So, but the Bitcoin is a lot more popular. So people know about Bitcoin, and people have Bitcoin wallets probably, or they can download them pretty quick and even connect them to their bank accounts. You know, they can just onboard really quick. So now there sort of a question comes up, right? So I have BTC, and I'd like to somehow get to STX so that I can sort of own this cool NFT. So I want to do that. OK, how do we do that? So we need some sort of BTC to STX converter. And first of all, it should be trustless, right? So we're working with blockchains. We're working with everything that comes with it. So it needs to be trustless, convenient, should be open source. People should be able to see the code. And then it should, well, I need to go back. It should be native, fast, and scalable. Because a lot of people might use this thing, and it shouldn't stop working. OK, so I'm going to talk to you about now submarine swaps, which is the main technology that NFT Swap uses. Could be a little bit technical, but I'm sure you've heard of it because it's such a sort of basic blockchain tool, right? Atomic swaps. But submarine swaps is a little bit different because it goes from on-chain assets, which is Bitcoin. Well, in this case, a person has STX, and another person has BTC, but on Lightning. So how that works is, OK, number one, Alice and Bob, as always. So Bob has BTC. And he wants to mint an NFT with STX. He needs an STX to mint this thing. So he goes, I want some STX, please. And Alice, in this case, has STX and says, OK, I'll give you STX if you can send me somehow in a trustless way this many BTC. So what they do is basically Alice creates an invoice with her Lightning wallet, right? That's the invoice. And then sends it over to Bob and says, this is what I want in return of this for this STX. So, and then Alice locks the STX into an on-chain contract, a Clarity contract in this case. It's a submarine swap implementation in Clarity, and locks it there with the same hash of the Lightning invoice. That's what ensures trustlessness, because you need the secret to the hash in order to claim the funds. That's the trick. And by the way, this was developed by Alex Bosworth of Lightning Labs, and it's been in use for a long time. We're just sort of doing the Stacks implementation of it. So as soon as Bob pays, right, the invoice, now Bob knows the secret and can claim the STX from the on-chain contract. So that's submarine swap. That's how things work. It's a little bit technical, but let's go back. So now I wanted to make this a more generic use case, so people everywhere can use this, and we can do cool stuff like mint NFTs with Lightning. So I got support from Stacks Foundation. They're great. They're talking about it all day here. They want people to use them. So if you have an idea, just go approach them. And what I did was I just forked an existing submarine swap implementation, which is the excellent Bolt Star Exchange. They're fantastic. And I developed this atomic swap contract, which is called hash time locked contracts in Clarity. And then I sort of adapted the front end, the back end server to work with it. And that's really my contribution. And now we ended up with a Lightning to SDX bridge. And people can actually use it. And the components is that you have the LNSwap backend is a server app. It's a Node.js app that requires a Bitcoin full node, the Lightning full node, and it's sort of a private key for the Stack Signer account that can send and receive funds and do contract calls and such. And then, so that's it. It's really that simple. And then the hash time lock contract in Clarity, you can see sort of, this is the beauty of Clarity, I would say, is that it's just sort of 70-something lines, and it's like 4 functions. And it ensures full trustless swaps between native Bitcoin and stacks. So that's pretty cool. And it's fully readable, and you should read it if you're using these type of things, for example. You should read them and see, oh, OK, I lock my funds here, and it will stay here until this happens. It's really straightforward. And then the front end is basically where you visit, which is lnswap.org. So you can visit it. Right now it's live. It's been live for some months. And you can actually download the Lightning wallet and just go to SDX directly with fully trustless. So we have that. And then what we did with SDX NFT was that we built a widget for them. So now they can pretty much use this for all of their collections. So any collection on SDX NFT can actually mint with Lightning, which means people that have Cashapp, can just download Cashapp and connect to your bank account. And now you can sort of purchase stacks NFTs. I thought that was pretty cool. OK. So what else can we do now that we have a bridge, sort of a trustless bridge between Bitcoin and stacks? So we can do lots of things. So we can, we showed that we can mint NFTs, right? And we can send SDX to people. Maybe we want to pay some people with SDX, but we don't need maybe SDX. We're not using it. So you can just use your Cash App or Strike wallet, whatever Lightning wallet you have. And it just, again, just one button, and you can send them SDX. That's pretty nice. So what you can do stacking, which is earning a yield in BTC with native BTC, right? Because you have Bitcoin wallet, and you can have like a one-click integration with any of the great stacking apps. And you can sort of just, from your Cash App wallet, you can join their stacking pool. And this is something we're working with the Hero Wallet team. So hopefully in the next weeks, we'll have this available for people to use. So you can sort of earn, 9% native Bitcoin yield with directly from your app. Anyway, so you can pretty much trigger any Clarity contract call. Anything that you can imagine that can be built with Clarity, you can trigger it with Lightning. So that's sort of where we want to go. That's where we want to be. And then let's talk. I wanted to put a few things about how big we are and how big we can get, right? So it's like the internet versus Bitcoin, right? So we're about 100 million something probably with Bitcoin. And people estimate, not me, but people have estimated we're going to get to about like 1 billion in a few years. I don't know how long, but that sounds reasonable if you've seen sort of how fast we've been growing, right? And then I wanted to talk about Lightning wallets, right? There are a lot of versions of them, and I want to put them out there because I contribute to some of them, and they're fantastic people. And of course, you have your custodials, right? So Strike and Cash App, I wanted to put them specifically because especially in the US, you can just download them and connect them to your bank account, and you can just use them. But they are custodial. Somebody else owns your BTC. And then you have the great non-custodial ones, like the simple Bitcoin wallet. It's fantastic. Breeze is great, too, as a starter. You can just download and get started. Blixt is great. Phoenix. Moon I don't like, but people love it. So, maybe you like them. And then, of course, you can also manage your nodes as Zeus and Albi and LMBits, all great wallets. So you can, the reason I'm showing this is because you have so many options for holding on to your sort of non-custodial Lightning coins, right? So let's do the demo. I think I need to click. And I can still talk. Yes, it's great. Because there's no sound to the video, so I can still talk. So this is what we did. We just generate a Hero Wallet account. That's what we did. And we went to SDX NFT, to my fantastic state-of-the-art cube collection. Amazing. And only thing that pops up is a Lightning invoice. That's what it is. And as soon as sort of you pick up your phone and then you open the Lightning wallet, and then you scan it. And in this case, I'm scanning with Cash App, right? And Cash App sort of just had integrated the Lightning, which was really, really good timing for us. And I'm paying 2 invoices, if you notice. And the reason for that is this Hero wallet has 0 STX. So pretty much they're just a regular person that just walked off the internet to hero.so and downloaded the wallet. They don't know anything about these assets. But they do have Cashapp, right? So that's what they're doing. And the cool thing about this is something that Stacks is enabling is that we can sponsor transactions. So they don't have to pay the fee, the transaction fee. So that's why there's 2 invoices. We're sponsoring the transaction for them. And then we broadcast it for them. And all they end up with like an empty Hero wallet, Stacks wallet. It could be Xverse as well, with an NFT. And that's it. They have no exposure to the STX asset. They don't need to know anything about it. Maybe they just saw some cool art that they wanted to buy, and now they can, with nothing else. So that's the trigger STX is our trustless contract call. That's calling our submarine swap HTLC contract, and that pulls it from there to their wallet, and the claim is successful. Of course, this takes about 10 minutes, so it's cut somehow, because of, the Stacks transactions being anchored to the Bitcoin blockchain. But either way, in 10 minutes, you're able to go from fully sort of non-custodial way from your Cashapp to an NFT. That was the demo. And I want to talk a little bit, I don't know, what time? I can't see the time anywhere. All right, I have time. So I want to talk a little bit about LN Swap and what I'm building and where I want to go. And maybe there are some co-founders in the audience that want to join me doing this. But basically, what we're building is a native bridge between Bitcoin and Stacks. It's fully trustless, and a lot of people want to use it, but we want to also make it sustainable and sort of fully decentralized. So what we're doing now is we're onboarding liquidity providers. What that means is people with, for example, BTC, native BTC, native Bitcoin in their wallets. They want to earn yields from it. They can actually run sort of our small client app it's a simple server app. And a bunch of people are trying this in our Discord. So they will basically offer this sort of asset. And they can earn sort of like 3 to 5% fees on each swap for doing that. And it's fully trustless. There's no risk of loss of funds. It either works or it doesn't work. That's why it's atomic, right? So we're working with them. So we want to make this fully one-click deploy. We want to have like regular people with no IT experience. Just click deploy. Your BTC earns some fees in the background. You don't have to do anything. People will maybe buy NFTs with it, maybe stack, maybe do some other stuff. That's OK. That's the goal. And we want to make this a fully on-chain and atomic swap network. So I think that's a pretty good goal to target. And I think it's pretty useful for everyone in the Stacks and Bitcoin side. So earn fees, have your apps be used, onboard people, higher liquidity, more builders, all of this good stuff. And now, as I've said, we're working with the Hero Wallet team, with the TrueBit guys. I don't know if they're around here. But we're going to integrate this into the Hero wallets that you can just sort of download to your laptops. And this way, for example, you'll be able to accept Lightning payments to your Hero wallet. What that means is you can sort of just generate Lightning invoices from your Hero wallets and accept as maybe USDA. You can take payments from people as a USD stablecoin. Again, people can go from Cashapp to your Hero wallets and in a fully trustless way. So there's really a lot of cool stuff that we can do with this thing, and it's really exciting, at least, to say the least. And just as we did with STX NFT, we want to also integrate with other Stacks DeFi apps and NFT marketplaces. There's a huge demand. We're working with Stacks Degens, I think, like the Hero wallet, as I mentioned. We work with Satoshiables, for example. So all these, really cool people in the ecosystem. Whoever, I don't want to name any more names, but yeah, everyone really, we want to integrate them. We want to make it easy for them to accept Bitcoin on-chain assets or Lightning, whatever is convenient. For example, for NFTs, you can sort of imagine Lightning is a better fit because it's faster, right, and with almost no fees, right, and it's low amounts, well, unless you're extremely popular, like some people. But otherwise, it's low amounts, so it's OK. And then for really big DeFi apps, we can sort of use on-chain atomic swaps and onboard them with this, sort of atomic swap network that we built. So that is my talk. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know any questions. And thank you. Thank you for listening. Okay. Any questions? No? No? Okay. Thank you.
Question over there.
Ah, yay. Question.
Why Lightning and what are the other? Why Lightning and what were the other alternatives?
Okay, why Lightning? I like Lightning. So, yeah. And another reason for it is because, again, sort of there's a really, I think, special connection between Bitcoin and Stacks, right? Because of, again, protocols are sort of intertwined, right? And I like Lightning because it's fast, and it inherits Bitcoin's decentralization, and it's very low fee, and it's fully accessible, and it's backed by, like I said, well, not backed by, but it's used by all sorts of people, right? So for example, like I said, like Strike Wallet is like a really cool integration. You can download, connect to your bank account, and just go. And now afterwards, some 6 months, a year after, Cashapp integrated. So it's really a really cool onboarding opportunity. I think that's one of the big things. And then again, like I have a personal opinion of Lightning that I've been involved with this space for like 4 years, and I contribute to Lightning wallets, and I just like that we have a P2P, like truly P2P, truly decentralized network that we can use. And I wanted to see that we can do other cool stuff with it, like the Stacks things. So that's why I built it. But technically, if that's your question, there's nothing stopping for anyone from using atomic swaps between any chain, any cryptographically secure chain you can use atomic swaps with. There's actually BTC and Bolt.exchange. They do BTC and Ethereum. So it's possible. I just built Lightning and Stacks because I think it's cool.
Just curious. Nice job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, that's really cool.
Thank you.
Is it necessary to have the intermediary step of going into Stacks? Like, couldn't the Clarity smart contract just view the native Bitcoin transaction and initiate, the delivery of the Stacks asset?
That is true. That's true. That's catamaran swaps do that, right? So the Stacks internally has a way to read Bitcoin state. Yes, that is possible, but there are limitations. And I don't say that to put it down, but I just want to technically correct that as far as I know, someone can maybe correct me, but as far as I know, it can read Bitcoin state for only specific address types, can do that, right? And it, of course, cannot read Lightning state because there is no Lightning state because Lightning is P2P, right? So there are ways, and I think Frigier has a fantastic, catamaran-swaps.org, right? He has that, and that's amazing, and it can be used, but it can only, the other limitation, it can go one way, right? So you can read Bitcoin state from Stacks, but Bitcoin would have no idea about this, right? Mm-hmm. So, it's limitations, and I thought this atomic swap and submarine swap specifically is the way to go, because again, it enables any, except Taproot, I don't have Taproot support, but any address type in Bitcoin is supported, and Lightning is supported, which was a really big thing for me because it cuts the wait time from 20 minutes to 10 minutes. I mean, 10 minutes, and that's just for the Stacks one confirmation. Sometimes we use micro blocks on Stacks, and that's 10 seconds. That's pretty cool, right?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Any more up there? Getting a workout.
Sorry to do the cardio part.
Just had a question in reference to 2.1. What are you anticipating as it relates to speed with what that you have going on now as it relates to 2.1 with Stacks?
So 2.1, I don't know anything about, I don't know if there are any speed improvements in relation to atomic swaps or what we're doing here. But there is one thing, convertibility between principals and buffers, right? So I don't know if you noticed in the contract, but we're at swap version v.10, so about v10, right? And our until v8, we were using on-chain conversion, which I don't know if Marvin's around, but he was always he was saying this is not right. So we were converting buffers to integers, And I think in 2.1, there is a principle to like buffer conversion. So we could have used that. There are some things we could have used, but not anymore because we optimized the contract ourselves, so we don't need it anymore. One thing we're looking forward to, at least for like in my case, and I think everyone will agree, is like hyperchains, right? So if we could have hyperchains and some sort of, like subnet that we could just work in, part of the, again, like give up some decentralization, maybe have some couple of validators. I don't know how it's going to work. But if we have that, and then maybe we can just do maybe like maybe there'll be an NFT hyperchain, right? And it will have like 5-second block times. And then we can go like in 5 seconds, we can go from Lightning to NFTs. That will be pretty cool, right?
And I think to that point, and this is my last point, people should have that option. So it's not a matter of internally choosing if people should give up decentralization or being decentralized to have speed. Maybe that's kind of a UI UX thing where people can kind of choose like, well, I could do Lightning, I could do Hyperchains, just a thought.
That's true. I fully agree. And I'm sort of, like if all the things, like all these things that I've been trying to build, I've tried to stay on the decentralized side and give up speed because again, like even with microblocks, there are like risks involved, right? It's like can be, I mean, some miner can just say, no, I don't like this microblock, I'm not going to use it. It's possible. So we want to keep it safe for both sides, for the providers and for the users. Thank you. Well, thank you for listening again. Thank you.